kind of pitch I did. And so I'm going with the stalking subgenre of thriller/horror. I've always kind of been into that genre mainly. Like if I go to the cinema, I'll be to like go watch a thriller film. The stalking is literally just what it says, like stalking. There's no violence, etc. Usually stalking comes from a slasher subgenre, which involves a lot of that, which I won't have in my films. The synopsis is basically a teenage girl who's lost her parents and she's suffering from things like depression and anxiety. She moves in with her sister, and in the opening 2 minutes she has an argument with her sister and she takes off and leaves the house and gets on a train and goes somewhere away from that setting to kind of like clear her head and stuff. So yeah, she's getting on the train and she gets a text from her her sister. And then when she gets to the other location, when she gets off the train, you can see how she's walking down and someone grabs her, and then it cuts to her being in the house, and then you get an insight as to why she left in the first place. My locations are the Eastminster train station, the train station in House Green where she'll get off, and then the domestic setting, which will be my brother's house. Here, he's usually annoying, so we're going to have loads of free time and space to film it there. Yeah. The actors, I'm going to be Gabby's sister, who she has an argument with, and then there's going to be Gabby, she's the victim. She's quite stereotypical, she's a teenager, she's quite young, and she's a good actor. Risk assessments, there's not much that comes as a risk. Obviously we're filming by a train station, there's things like falling onto the tracks and stuff like that, so you have to be careful that we're keeping well away from the track and stuff. At the start of the second scene there's going to be a deep sound which will build up over some of the scenes to the scene in the bit where she's tapped on the shoulder by a stalker, and then it will cut to silence when she's back in the house. I quite like the idea how it goes from like really loud to silent really quickly. That's my story, but it's quite short. I did miss off like the bit where the actor's names fades on, so that will come in within the first 2 scenes. So that's the actors' names, and then as well the title of the film, which is Overkill. So shooting schedule, most of the scenes are quite quick, about 5 to 6 seconds. And yeah, they're all basically filmed in the same similar location. For my props, I have a train ticket, so we can actually get on the train. The mobile phone used when she gets the tap. Her bag that she grabs when she storms out, and then she's going to be on the PlayStation in the house in that scene, so obviously that and the components.
Okay, good. Any questions from anyone? Are you going to ask permission to film at the train station?
Yeah, as long as it's not filmed like having adverts and like the public in the background within the train. So
just one thing for your title, just maybe to look into how you can merge sort of moving the titles in with the train things, the train moving,
Yeah.
going past things, and I can show you some examples of how to do that. Okay, anything else? Any questions? Yeah, sure.
So when you want to film the train, do you have to organise what time and all that, because it'd be very hard.
yeah, like
train
whenever
station.
the train leaves, so they're going to be some of these things only going to be filmed on a weekend, so just have to like organise what time train is leaving and stuff.
Okay, good. Well done.